What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. Okay, I see you guys coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're doing a different review today, Married to Medicine. If you guys can hear the sound of my voice, please go ahead and drop your city and state in the chat. That way I can give you a shout out and bring you guys in. Come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. I see Linda Gamble and Miss Tina are in the house. Those are the mods today. Anyone that you see with a purple wrench behind their names are our mods, and they'll just be helping us out in the chat. But we are talking Married to Medicine, which was an excellent premiere episode for season 10. So let's see. For some reason, you guys appear frozen on my side of the screen. I'm not sure why, but you appear frozen for me. Oh, okay. I see you now. St. Louis, Florida. I see Noonan, Georgia, Gastonia, London. What is up? Hey. Okay. Hi, everybody. Come on in. I was about to say, I almost panicked. Like, why is nothing moving? Okay. I see you guys. Little Rock, Arizona, Fort Lauderdale. What is up? Hey, everybody. Come on in. Y'all, I called this damn. I'm glad y'all set it off because honestly, it's the previews, those previews for the upcoming episodes between Dr. G and his then fiance, now wife, Sweet Tea / Letitia. How many Letitias do we have on the shows now? I think we got like 3 or 4 Letitias, for Pete's sake. But keep coming in, you guys. I see 77 are watching, 49 likes, so keep hitting that like button. And y'all can just let everybody chill in the chat, okay? Unless they're being super crazy. Please don't put anyone in timeout or anything like that. We're just talking today. We're going to get it started with Married to Medicine, one of my faves. I do love Married to Medicine because we get to see a whole lot of Black people in the upper class tax bracket. Looking good, big houses, nice cars, beautiful families, and they have multiple businesses. So let's see. Phaedra came back to the show. First, let me ask this question. I should start off by asking, how many of you watch the actual episode? So if you watched the episode, put a 1 in the chat. If you didn't have an opportunity to see it, put a 3 in the chat. That way I can make sure that I'm actually talking to people that watch the episode. You know what I'm saying? It helps. It helps me know who my audience is at the moment, okay? All right, I see the ones. All right, everybody. Oh, Linda Gamble said 11111. This could be her fave. Okay, I see one person has a 3, 2 person. Okay, now I see a couple of 3s. Okay, no problem. So the 3s are just here to support, and I appreciate the 3s too. It just helps me know who watched, who didn't. So we're gonna get it started, y'all. Let me take this screen down so that y'all can see my face. Okay. But yeah, it was an excellent episode. Like, you know, usually the first episode for a new season starts off pretty slow. But this one was not slow at all. This one was really good. So let's see. All right. So this was really, really good. They reintroduced Dr. G. That was Quad's ex-husband. Y'all know Quad had a problem with them bringing Dr. G back to the show. Y'all remember it when they got divorced. It went pretty, you know, as Toya said, it was described as dark. They were kind of fighting, possibly physically fighting. On the reunion stage, they let it slip out that at one point, Quad may have tried to come after Dr. G with a knife, and Dr. G had to knock her down and restrain her. So thank you. I appreciate everybody with the compliments. You guys are always so wonderful and nice to me. I appreciate y'all. But they talked about that, and y'all remember Quad did not want to even, she held out on the contract, I think until like the middle of filming. So they had already started filming and everything. And she was like, no, she wanted a certain dollar amount in order to return, or she said she was good. She wasn't coming back. So they literally started filming without her. But Dr. G showed up, and Sweet Tea. Her name is Letitia, but they call her Sweet Tea. She looks like an identical twin, right? Her sister, I think she said they were fraternal twins, but they look exactly alike, except she has, like a silk press, and her sister she has locks. So, but they're, beautiful girls. At one point, I kind of thought that Sweet Tea looked very similar to Toya, but when we have them together in the scene, you can tell that there's a difference, right? She's young. She's 31 years old. I think Dr. G is in his 50s. Might be knocking on 60s. Okay, might be knocking on 60s door. But right now, he seems super happy. This woman has a lot of energy, though. There was a clip at the end. I know I'm just letting people come in. This is why I'm talking. I'm letting people come in so I can get it started. Uh-oh. Somebody said all that fake love for Dr. G and his wife fake ass F, shaking my damn head. Okay, so it looks like we have a person who don't like Dr. G. Okay, I can honestly say for everybody, let me start off by saying this. I like Married to Medicine. I've watched it since the beginning, watched it when Mariah came on. I do believe that because we saw Mariah in that beginning clip, right? We saw Mariah show up in a clip. We've never seen that before. It's very possible that Mariah will make an appearance in this season. That's what it's giving me. Okay. So I was there from the beginning. And I like the show because I like the show. I don't necessarily like one person better than the other, just so y'all know. And I don't have like an abundance of love. I just found it interesting how excited he was to jump back into this show. That's number one. To jump back into this show with his current wife, knowing that his ex-wife was still a part of the show, and then have his wedding actually play out on the show. Like, I'm introducing Dr. G, the new Dr. G, and I'm showing up with a wife and a wedding as a part of the season. So he's letting people know he is a full-time cast member. I'm not a friend of. Me and my wife are full-time cast members, and I could feel the little, he was being a little bit of an antagonist with that. I felt it, even though he's trying to act like he's just being cool. They're living in the same house that Quad used to live in. So Quad's previous marital home, he kept that home. Him and his current wife are living there. Listen, there was a whole lot of stuff going on in this episode, and I was sitting here with my mouth open. 2 questions, though. I'm going to ask the first one. If you guys someone said, I love Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly gets his crunk on this show, but Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, which was a friendship that I really love. Like, Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie was I think, sister girl, Black girl friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you finish each other's sentences, you call each other right away when you got some BS going on, or you see some BS going on. And then their friendship, went left after Dr. Jackie had sided with Dr. Heavenly on something, right? That's what they said. Hey, whatever. Let's see what else is coming up. And that friendship has never got back on track. At first, they weren't talking to each other at all. Then they tried to make amends. I don't believe that Dr. Simone was at Jackie's 60th birthday party. And when the season opens for this season, again, Dr. Heavenly, sometimes I think she doesn't realize we're not silly. We know what she's doing. She firmly planted that friendship flag right there, opening episode. Dr. Jackie is my girlfriend, my confidant, my everything. Like, she was like, we ain't lovers, you know what I'm saying? She was like, we don't eat coochie, but she's my friend. And I want to make sure that everybody understands that. I trust her with my life. There isn't anything that I wouldn't trust her with. And I was like, well, damn, she is letting us know immediately in the scene. Ain't nothing changed. Me and Dr. Jackie are still rocking. We still tight. And then we see again that the friendship, cliques have formed. So we got Dr. Jackie, Heavenly, maybe Phaedra's in this camp. I can't tell yet, but it feels like she's in that camp because both Dr. Jackie and Heavenly said they knew her from back when. And then we have the friendship camp of Simone, Cecil, Eugene, Toya, and it looks like Dr. G and his wife, Sweet Tea, will also be a part of that friendship group. So they're picking up where they're left off. We didn't miss Contessa. Nobody missed what's her name, Anila. We didn't miss either one of them people. Okay. So it was good to me. Yes, Heavenly is funny to me too, child. I was hollering, okay, and I felt like everybody kept up. So Dr. G, like I said, he came back in and he kept up. It was no problem. He's clearly still friends with everybody. I thought Sweet Tea was like, listen, she had already made a decision off camera that she knows she's going into a well-formed friendship group and nobody's going to run her over. She did let him run her over just a little bit at the end of the scene, but she got it back on track, her and her sister. And then what else happened? Let me see. Someone said, I don't care for Simone, but you like Cecil, huh? Okay. So anywho, I was going to ask y'all, do y'all like the Dr. Jackie Heavenly friendship? So if you like their friendship, put a 2 in the chat. If you don't care for their friendship, if you think that Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie are on something else, put a 5 in the chat. I just want to see something real quick. 2 and 5. If you like the friendship, put a 2. If you're like, I don't know what this is, and I wish that she would become friends with Simone again. Ooh, Dr. Jackie is questionable. Child. Why is she questionable? Please share. All the 2s. Okay, more 2s than 5s at the moment. Ooh, we might be balancing out with the 5s. Okay, let me see. I think Jackie's likes for Heavenly to say what she really wants to say. You know, when people are friends with people, you know, as outspoken as Dr. Heavenly, it really is because they're just saying what they would want to say, right? And she spends a lot of time being, you know, very refined and quiet. But anywho, y'all, I just want to see how y'all felt about that. Let's get started, okay? Let's get it crunk. We got 143 in the house right now. So if y'all could keep hitting the like button, I appreciate it. We're going to get it started with the review. Okay. First episode, season 10. Premiere, okay? And this was called Southern Sweet Tea. So they actually named it after Dr. G's wife, Dr. Gregory's wife. They said Quad's name from the second the scene opened. We are talking about Quad, and some of it not so nice, okay? But it opens at Phaedra's store. She is a partner in a store called The Vaults. And then we have Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly, who comes in, and they're, you know, being lighthearted, making some jokes and things. But they talk a little bit about Phaedra. They open up with Dr. Heavenly saying, I've known Phaedra for years. She's a phenomenal businesswoman. The girl is smart. You know, she has multiple businesses, multiple incomes. She's given her props. But she also say that Phaedra lies. She says she's a lying ass bitch, and sometimes the truth ain't in her. So she has to really, you know, pay attention, and, you know, she doesn't take everything that Phaedra says as honest. Okay. And Jackie says pretty much the same thing. She was like, I've known Phaedra for a while, and I give her props. She's a great, you know, she's funny, she's witty, you know, good business sense. However, she's slick as oil on a damn wet highway. So she said, you got to be careful with her. So they basically are letting the audience know that, you know, even though they welcome Phaedra, they still gonna keep their good eye on Phaedra because they know Phaedra, she got some trickery in her, okay? And they start off by putting on the furs, and this is like a luxury store that's, I believe, I've never been, but I heard that it might only cater to the elite. At least that's how Phaedra made it seem. I don't know if you need an appointment to get in there or what, but she said the who's who shows up at the store to purchase, you know, really nice finds, is how she made it seem. But let me put up a couple of you guys' statements. Quad and Dr. G never made a good couple to me. Ain't that the truth, child? But she's talking to him, and the real substance of the scene is they want to know, number one, are you dating? And she says she is, okay, after she makes some jokes to Heavenly for being nosy, because she was like, girl, listen, are we already going there? And she was like, well, you're gonna give us a little something. You're not gonna stay private. Y'all know Phaedra likes to stay private about her dating life. So much so that they put little circles over the dude's face. So we know that he is Nigerian, because Jackie asked, and she asked with her mouth open, like, is he European? With her mouth dropped, like the jaw, like, you better tell me what's going on. And she literally was like, no, he's not European, child. He's dark meat. He's from, Nigeria. She said that he is a pediatric cardiologist. And, she was like, everything's good. Right now, this is what's going on. But when they showed pictures of her, we know he's really tall, but he had a little circle over his face so that you couldn't see it. And I heard something online that said that he didn't sign a release for the photos. However, he may show up later in the scenes. And I don't know if that's true. When they're telling us that she's slick as oil, I'm thinking that's what they're talking about. Phaedra might have lied about dating a doctor. I don't know. They didn't say anything about seeing him. As far as I know, the lives that I've watched with Dr. Heavenly, she's never revealed, like, yeah, I met him. Dr. Simone never revealed that she met him. Oh, I wanted to say, hey, Nola, how are you? Hey, everybody. They never revealed that they know him or not. But I do want to say that I did see Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone in the live, and they were laughing and checking it up. So they seem to be in a really good place. One of the reasons why I do watch Married to Medicine and love it to pieces is because even when they do have some hard times, they really do try to work their way back into a friendship. And I wish that Mariah was able to stick it out on this show. And I do hope that she does make an appearance later on. Okay. So she does admit to having a boyfriend. I should keep this going. Phaedra does admit to having a boyfriend. And then they even talk a little bit about Quad. They asked if Quad had been invited to the Vault event. And Phaedra said that she did invite her, but she wasn't sure if she was coming. She also said that she has been traveling, going to Africa and Mexico and Tijuana, whatever. And they showed pictures of her in a little bathing suit. And she said, as far as she knows, the girl is happy and fine. Okay. Phaedra also explains how she met Dr. G. She said that she knew him from 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago, they've been friends. Phaedra suggested that they used to date, and she tried to put the kibosh on it by saying, we have to really redefine dating, basically saying we didn't have sex, but y'all might have done everything else, right? And she tried to make it out like she was a wing woman for him, helping him find dates in Atlanta. But she said she knew him before she knew Quad, and that's, she's still friends with both of them. She still thinks they're good people. So outside of that, yeah, it was a decent scene. I liked it. I liked the opulence of it. I like to see these three ladies, all of them making money, all of them with multiple businesses and just really doing it. So I loved it. Okay. Let's see. They done broke up already. She lied. Oh, child, did she? Oh, well, like I said, they basically, both Phaedra and Dr. Jackie set the scene and saying, listen, she's a lot of things, but she's also slick. And we are also aware that she will say what she needs to say to get out of some stuff. Okay. She's not always completely honest. Okay. So let's talk about the next scene. Next up, child. Next up was, I believe, Cecil and Simone. They're having a party at their house where we first get to meet Dr. G and his boo thing, Sweet Tea. I don't know if y'all can see that good. Let me open up the picture a little bit. Okay, that might be better for y'all. Anyway, we get to see Cecil and, not Cecil, Dr. G and his new boo thing, Sweet Tea. Now, in this scene, it opens with Simone and Cecil unpacking carry out so that they can invite their friends over. She was like, we got some, what did she call it? I don't know. She had a charcuterie board and some other things. They was getting it all spread out. You know that Simone doesn't cook. She says she doesn't cook, but she knew how to turn on an oven. No, who didn't know how to turn on the oven? Was it Jackie or Simone? Do y'all remember? Put it in the chat if y'all remember who didn't know how to turn on the stove. I think maybe it was Jackie, but either way, she's getting everything set up for the friends. Then we have Eugene and Toya come in. When they walked in the door, they're letting everybody know, because y'all remember last season, they told everybody their marriage was on the rocks, right? They was like, our marriage is on the rocks. We're trying to, be okay, but he works too much. Eugene works too much. Toya's drinking too damn much. I don't know if that was what she said, but it felt like it. She's drinking too much. And then there was a rumor going around that she was having relations with a man in the neighborhood. Okay. So people were trying to break them up. They had a hard time last year. And they basically came in the door and said, listen, Cecil and Simone has been our friends. Like, we consider them family now. When we were going through the thick of things and we didn't think we could get through it, they would tell us we are on our way. Like, they hopped in a car and drove to their house to counsel them and say, listen, I don't know what y'all think this is, but you can get over it. You can get over the hump. All you got to do is stay together, which is good friends. That's what a good friend does. So Cecil and Simone, who have been through this shit before, they was letting them know, y'all ain't gonna break up. Y'all got 2 young kids. Keep this going. Stick it out. And Toya said, even though they are still having some rough patches, she said that they owe it all to Cecil. They owe it all to Cecil and Simone, that they kept them together and that they talked to them more than anybody else in the friendship group. Okay. What else happened? Simone also let everybody know that that book that her and Cecil were writing about their relationship, they was having a relationship book. She said, we nixed that. She said, we had to get that on up out of here. They ended up talking to Omarosa, who told her, listen, if you guys are okay now revisiting all the time, all the, turmoil you went through when you were about to divorce could split you guys up. So you might want to reconsider doing this book. And she said she was right. So we had to put it on the back burner. How many people think that Simone and Cecil are in a good place? She said they were in a good place when they're not fighting, but how many of y'all think that they're still in a good place? I don't know. I'm going to ask y'all, just if you think they're in a good place, say yes, say no if you don't. Just give me a hint, because sometimes people be faking the funk. Dee Dee said nope. Sometimes people be faking the funk for the show, but Cecil was making some faces that was making me think, damn, Cecil, you don't seem like you was as happy as you usually are. Cecil has always seemed jolly and happy and laughing. Ooh, more people are saying no. Okay, I do. Okay. I don't think they ever got back to a good place. Okay. I still feel like they're on rocky ground too. And I'm going to tell you who I also think might be on rocky ground, even though we didn't see them together. Dr. Jackie and Cecil. What the hell is Cecil, or excuse me, not Cecil. What is his name? Curtis. What the hell was Curtis doing in the Dominican Republic? Okay. The Dominican Republic for men is like Brazil. You ain't got no reason to be down there by yourself. Okay. That's a place you visit with your wife. And people typically go to the DR for like plastic surgery and, other things that's legal there that's not legal in the United States. I don't like it. And I don't like the way she said it either. It was almost like after she said, he's in the Dominican Republic, I got the feeling that Dr. G was like, I ain't going to ask nothing else. Because typically people will say, why is he there? But he was like, okay, well, I'm glad you came. And he left it alone. Whew. Listen, I was like, that didn't feel right for me. That did not feel right for me. Okay, someone said maybe buying some property. Cookie said, I said the same thing. Yeah, Dominican Republic is not a place men travel by themselves unless they're looking for a little something, something. That's my feeling. Anywho, let me finish out the scene. So the big main thing here is Dr. G and Sweet Tea basically tell everybody how they met. Dr. G said, well, I had a whole bunch of, people talking in my DMs. Someone slid into the DMs. He was like, I would get shower photos. I guess he was saying that one was sending him shower photos of herself in the shower. She said she sent him a picture saying, or a message saying, I got what you want. I got what you need. Okay. The the Missy Elliott song. I got what you want, I got what you need, and then sent a little baby emoji to let him know she's ready to start a family. And he flew her out from DC to Atlanta. And then we saw pictures of their first date where she actually was kneeling on this man's couch, rear end tooted and booted, okay? Up in the air, letting him know it ain't nothing but a thing, just say it. And he fell in love, I guess, and that's how it happened. Lord have mercy. I see some stuff about the features in here. I ain't gonna stick this on a thing. Like I said, a lot of people said she looked like Toya, but when they're side by side, they don't look that much alike. She's an attractive woman, though. I don't call anybody unattractive ever. Okay, just so y'all know, if y'all have not paid attention to that, I don't call people unattractive. She doesn't look like Toya, though. Okay, I'll say that. Maybe the eyes. Okay. But Dr. G let everybody know that's how he met his fiance. And the men in the room literally was sitting there with their eyes open. You know, Cecil never says anything. He just holds his drink like, well, damn. Okay, there's nothing for me to say. It was funny. It was funny. Okay, let's see. Sweet Tea saw that Dr. G wanted a baby and had a little money, and she pounced for sure. Okay, and she's not mincing any words. In fact, she's letting everybody know you're not going to tell my story before I tell it. Okay. See, this first episode, I'm going to let y'all know how I met him. I'm going to let you know everything because we don't know what Sweet Tea has said to who, when, where, at what time, right? So Sweet Tea is getting ahead of anybody else's BS before they start spreading it on the internet. I'm going to tell you how I met him. And I can't do anything but respect it, child, because it was absolutely hilarious. Now let's see what else is going on. Let's get to Heavenly and Alora. Hold on, let me read a couple more of your comments. Lucy said, "Why mention babies when she gonna have to have some help and not from Gregory?" You got a point. We didn't get to that yet, but she does need some help, right? Thank you. I have 108 likes, 215 are in the chat. If y'all could hit the like button, please, I appreciate y'all. I don't ask for nothing else. Just going ahead and hit that like button. Dee Dee said, "Girl, those are a problem." Uh-oh, that wasn't for me. Sorry about that, Dee Dee. Didn't mean to air you out there. Okay, but anyway, yeah, so she's letting everybody know so we can assume there might be some other information that might spring up about her. And like I said, she gives me the impression that she really doesn't care what anybody thinks at this point. She's putting it out there. Dr. G is totally okay with it. Y'all remember the scandal that happened when Dr. G was at the club, and that was when he was married to Quad, and he let that lady get him all the way to the hotel. That's what he said. I let her get her all the way to the hotel. It got hot and heavy, but I said no before it went there. And everybody on the stage had their mouth open like, that didn't happen, right? Like, we all know you didn't have enough restraint if you made it all the way to the hotel. But this time, they're both just saying this is what it is. So we'll see. Okay. So let's get on to Alora and Dr. Heavenly. Alora is Dr. Heavenly's daughter. So here we go with her little cute self. She looks just like both of her parents. But Alora is about to go to college. She's actually, Dr. Heavenly met her at a little boutique to get a prom dress, right? A prom dress. I think that's what she was doing. And she was talking about, let me see. Somebody said that Dr. G been a problem like Martell. Ooch, that's hurt, painful. But anyway, she's getting her prom dress, and Dr. Heavenly showed up to make sure she don't do anything, too wild. She was like, you make sure she is covered up at the breast because she's, well endowed, and we don't want no high splits. And Alora was just about to say something, and she looked at her mama and she went, "Oh," she knew not to say it. And I went, well, I can't do anything but appreciate and respect that. Listen, if you are a child and she's getting up there, but if you are a child and you walk into any situation, because Alora used to be kind of quick at the mouth, right? If y'all remember her from when she was younger, she would be real quick at the mouth. So the fact that she stopped herself from saying something just by looking at Heavenly, I was like, look at how Heavenly got her together. Look at how Heavenly got her together, because previously Laura would say whatever was on her mind, like her mama, okay? But her mom said that she does not want her to go away for school because she's considering going to FAMU. She said she wanted her to go to a local school. There's plenty of beautiful schools in Atlanta, including Spelman. She was like, I really wish she would go somewhere here. Her fear is that she might get married and move out of the state or move away. And she said she really wants her child to stay near her. So Laura's the last of the babies in the household. So she'll be an empty nester after Alora leaves. That means that only her and what does she call him? Daddy. Dr. Daddy will be left in the house, child. That'll be a completely different relationship. Whew, let's see what you guys are talking about. I have a daughter, Sweet T's age, and I would not want my child to marry anyone that is my age or isn't. Okay. Listen, you have a point, but you can also see, if you're watching the show, that she had her sights set on Dr. G. Like, this is happening. So she knew it was going to happen. It could have been him or anybody at this point. Whoever was willing to answer the DM. We just don't know who else she sent a message to. But anyway, that's pretty much how the scene ends. She ended up getting a nice dress, and she did exactly what her mama told her to do, including choosing the dress that her mama said, I think you should get this one. That's the one she ended up getting. So that's how the scene ended. It was just a cute little scene to see how the kids have grown up. I think she has, Dr. Heavenly has 2 or 3 boys and 1 girl, right? Y'all can let me know in the comments if I got that right. I know she has 1 girl, but she might also have 2 or 3 boys. So anywho, let's get to the next scene, which was Quad's house. This all happened in Quad's house, child. That is exactly how Bravo's shady butt self introduced the scene. You get a view of Quad's house, the outside of her house, and Dr. G's house. But it said Quad's house, and I was laughing my ass off. But when you go inside, child, Sweet Tea done switched it all up. It don't look nothing like the house that Quad had left behind. Okay. People called it a purple mansion when Quad was there. I guess lilacs and purples were her thing. Well, child, we get to see it. It's decorated in a hoedown theme because Sweet Tea want everybody to know where she comes from. She said, I am from, I think she said Cotton something in Arkansas. She said it's 400 people big. And they ended up moving to Texas. That's where she was raised, went from Texas to DC, went to DC front to Atlanta. But she said, at the end of the day, she said, these ladies need to get to know me for me. She said, I hope they like me because her husband to be is still really good friends with all the men. And she felt like it's going to be a hard group to break into. But she was letting them know, this is what we did. This is how I decorated. And he didn't give a damn. I'm going to say that. Now, I feel like if Dr. G was with Quad and Quad tried any of that design in that home, that Dr. G would have had a whole hell of a lot to say. Okay. Dr. G, if I'm recalling correctly, and y'all can remind me if I'm not, but Dr. G used to put his foot down with almost everything with Quad. At least he tried to. Now, she might have stumped on it with a stiletto, but he damn sure tried to put his foot down with certain things. He just seems as relaxed as pie in these scenes. So she's walking him around. There's stencil. There's, I don't know, shag. There's glitter. There's gold. There's everything. But she's showing him all the different spots, the theme for the hoedown. And she's just like, I just want your friends to like me. He said, all of my friends have never been anything but supportive and kind to me. And I'm sure that's going to extend to you. Thank you, reading book. She said that it is called Cotton Plant. Cotton Plant is the town that she is from. Oh, she says just a few miles away. Cotton Plant is the town that she is from in Arkansas. And she said that it was only 400 people there when she had was born there. So she seems to be cityfied now. Okay. She knows what she wants, what she likes. But that's pretty much it. We just got to see a big difference. I don't even know if they gave us a flashback. Oh, they did. They gave us a side by side of some of the changes when they talked to Dr. Jackie. But outside of that, y'all, if y'all like the decor, I have to ask if y'all like the decor in Quad's previous house, the way it looks. Let me know. Go ahead and put like a 7 in the chat if you thought, listen, Sweet Tea is over there making her stamp, letting people know that's her house. Okay, she don't give a damn what y'all think. If y'all like the way it looked, go ahead and put a 9 in the chat. And if you thought that was the tackiest thing you ever seen and that this girl might have a problem, because we know that like Heavenly, Jackie too, child. Jackie will call a person tacky in a second. In fact, those are the main two. But then Toya might attack her too. Okay, so you go ahead and put a 12 in the chat if you think that it was tacky and that she's going to have a hard time with the ladies coming up. 12 if you think that the house is tacky and the lady's going to have a hard time. 7 if you like the house and you think, I'm happy that she, is making the place her own. Okay, mostly 7s. Nope. Linda said absolutely not. It's a no-go for me, child. All right, we got some 12s. I'm on the 12 side. I feel like I don't think she's gonna make it. I think first season when they come on, they'll get, tacky, 12, 12, 12. They start off like showing like, oh, I want you to see who I am. But when she comes back for season 11, I bet you that house isn't completely remodeled. I bet you she completely remodels that damn house without a doubt. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that scene too. Let's get to the next one. Let's see. That was Dr. G. That was Quad's house. Quad's house. Now we are talking about the phone call between Dr. Jackie and Heavenly. Now, this is what made me think that Dr. Jackie might be having just a little bit of an issue with Curtis. Number one, she don't seem happy in filming for this entire episode. She seemed kind of off, and she especially seemed off at the party. But she said, I met Dr. G and Sweet Tea, and she said, I didn't know if they were a couple or if he was her babysitter. And I was like, well, she's immediately calling out the shade. She doesn't respect it. And y'all know that when Curtis stepped out, he was with a little 30-something that he thought he was, going to make a life with. And she told him, you can go on back home to your wife. I, under no circumstances, want the smoke that's coming from me on the internet, okay? This fun time is over. But she sent him home in a packing. And I was like, Dr. Jackie is already throwing shade, so she don't like it. But she's having a conversation with Heavenly, and she was like, I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if they really love each other, if they like each other. She had a lot to say about that. She said, I haven't been to Quad's house since, they divorced. I don't, I'm kind of uncomfortable about even going there. And she asked Heavenly about it. She said, yeah, we've been to the house and they changed a few things in it. She also said, you can tell that Quad had a whole designer when she was in the house. But Sweet Tea, she gets her stuff from Tarjay. Okay, so she was making jokes about her just not being up to par with the rest of the crew. And then she ended up saying she was gonna go anyway. I'm going to the hoedown, and Heavily ended it by saying, okay, see you later, ho. Okay, that was how that ended. The shit was hilarious. Let's see. Woo Chow, I agree. Dr. G is 24 years older than Sweet Tea. Yeah, there's a big age difference there. So I feel like we're going to see some scenes where they're going to go at it. And a lot of the things that she seemed to be complaining about to the group are the very things Quad used to complain about. And someone actually says that in the scene. They're like, well, she sounds like Quad right now. So Dr. G hasn't changed his stripes at all. Even though he's with this younger woman, he hasn't changed his stripes at all. Okay. Somebody said Target has never been that tacky. Oh, I can't breathe. Yeah. Anyway, I'm guessing season 11, it'll be a whole new look. But they ended up showing us a little bit of the changes. Like they changed out the cabinets, made them lighter, maybe changed out a countertop. Some of the things that was just like darker paneling, they changed out to a lighter paneling, a new chandelier. It was, simple fixes. But my guess is, again, Dr. G better go on ahead and make that money, because that girl's going to want some changes in that house, or at the very minimum, she might ask for a brand new house. Okay. She might ask for a brand new house. Like if they keep playing us and calling this Quad's house, go on ahead and switch it out. I'll see. Let's see. I don't think it's fair for them to judge this lady. Quad messed up her marriage. Okay. Edwina said this is not fair to judge her, that she messed up the marriage. So, jog my memory. How did she mess up the marriage? What do you think happened? I remember she didn't want to have a child, but I also thought it was because they were kind of in the thick of things, and she wasn't sure if she should have a baby. Like that wasn't a fix. Tennessee girl said, what? Quad messed up what? Okay. What quad mess up? What quad mess up? Cookie said, I would want a new house too. Child, me too. I agree. I definitely would have wanted a new house. But like I said, now that the season's playing out, I promise you she's in the newspaper or whatever. She didn't already called a realtor. They're looking for new houses. There's no way she's going to allow herself to be played like that again. Miss Tina said, house paid for. She better chill out and hire a designer. She better chill out and hire a designer. Okay, listen. Don't forget you come from cotton plant. Okay, don't be getting all high up in your little feelings there, child. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Where am I? That was 6. Let's go to 7 real fast. So, we're at the hoedown, y'all. Oh, I think I skipped a scene. I should have talked about there was a car scene, I think. Yeah, that's what happened. There was a car scene between Toya and Simone. Where is she? Toya and Simone, where Toya is basically saying that her and Dr. Heavenly have buried the hatchet, that she doesn't necessarily think that, it's a complete ceasefire, that Dr. Heavenly will be coming for her soon. But she said at this particular moment, after the reunion, Dr. Heavenly has stopped talking about her, stopped talking about her husband on her YouTube page. So she says she's going to take it. That's pretty much it. And Simone basically said the same thing, that Heavenly's Heavenly. At the moment, she's not saying anything. So they're just going to roll with it. Okay. Let's see. Now we can get to the hoedown. So this is the last scene. The last scene, y'all. They are at Dr. G's house, and everybody is there with their Western gear on. They got their hats, their cowboy boots. We got to see Dr. Kima. Y'all remember her from the LA franchise. She has moved back to, or I shouldn't say back, but she's moved to Atlanta. She's actually in this photo. If y'all don't remember her, she's on the corner. We're missing Toya in this scene. So the one standing beside Dr. Heavenly, that's Sweet Tea. So she's definitely made her way into the group. And y'all look, just in case you didn't see it, that's Quad in the turquoise. So she's taking a picture with Sweet Tea too. It's not all lost. They are like cool to some degree. But anyway, they're all here at the party and things are going really, really good. Everybody's, enjoying themselves. The only person that seemed really off to me was Dr. Heavenly when she walks in the door. Okay. Everybody's there except for who isn't there. Quad isn't there, of course. Phaedra ends up coming, but she's not there with her man. And then, of course, Dr. Jackie's there. She's not there with her man because he's in the Dominican Republic. They all gather together. The men are having a good time. The men are all in the back smoking cigars. At one point, Cecil said, this might be the best friendship ever because, and I think you're marrying the right woman because they all in there and we ain't heard anything from them, man. He said they ain't talking, they ain't screaming, they ain't yelling. I don't know if they're in the basement or what, but this is the quietest that we've heard the women when they get together. And he literally spoke too soon. But they were in there hanging out, enjoying themselves. And of course, you know, they got to get it started. I think Dr. Heavenly, who started this conversation? Oh, well, first I should say, they start talking a little bit about quad. Of course, they're talking about quad. Somebody's going to bring it up. And then I think it was Toya who asked Phaedra if she was handling her DUI case because she had been arrested for DUI. And then she put her entire name on Front Street. She said, I think she said it was Quatoria Webb Lungsford. And she went, except it's not Lungsford anymore. That name belonged to somebody else. So Toya's letting us know her and Quad did not get along still, and they will not ever. Okay. But she was dragging Quad in this scene. She had talked about her so much that finally Sweet Tea chimed in and said, this isn't about Quad, and got nothing to do with Quad. Don't bring her up in this house. This is my house. Dr. G is settled now. He's ready to have a family, and I'm going to help him get there. Okay. This is the baby mama. This is my house. And then she thanks Dr. Simone for referring her to a doctor for her fibroids. So when you guys were talking about it in the chat earlier, that she said she wanted to have a baby, and it turns out she can't do that without a little medical attention. That is it. So anywho, she said she needed to do some treatment. And this was interesting because that is when Dr. Heavenly tries to set it off between Simone and Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is sitting there. And Dr. Heavenly asks, Simone, why didn't you refer this patient to Dr. Jackie? Why didn't you tell Sweet Tea to go to Dr. Jackie? And she says off camera, Heavenly says, I trust Dr. Jackie with a root canal, brain surgery, or anything that has to do with my coochie. I don't care. If Simone wanted, Sweet Tea to see a good doctor, she should have sent her to Dr. Jackie. And while she was saying that, Dr. Jackie literally had her lips curled, like, cut it the fuck out. Like, she was really going to town. Like, Dr. Heavenly, why are you doing this? Which kind of let me know that Dr. Jackie Dr. Jackie and Simone aren't in a good place. They still aren't in a good place. They might just be cordial. But yeah, you guys, Dr. Simone, Dr. Heavenly is messy. She was definitely messy for that. Dr. Heavenly is going to play her role to a T for show. She was sitting there acting like she was completely clueless. Like, well, why? Why wouldn't you just keep the money in house? Why wouldn't you keep it amongst the friend group? Why would you send her to someplace else? Anyway, Dr. Simone said, listen, she is a messy person and she needs to mind her mother business and stick to what she knows. Veneers. Okay. Listen, you ain't going to stop Simone from cursing in any scene. She's going to let them all fly. She's going to say MF 100 times, but she said it, and literally Heavenly still acting like she don't know what she's talking about. But why they acting the fool? Of course, the men hear it on the outside, and now they tripping, right? Like, oh, damn, the ladies are at it again. Let's see. And that is why Simone ain't feeling it for Jackie. She could have said something. She stayed quiet as a church mouse. She said absolutely nothing. It ended up that Sweet Tea's sister actually screams out, let her talk in her mother in the house, right? Again, making sure the flag is firmly planted. This is her house. And they stopped talking. They realized, okay, these girls, they may be young, but they definitely ain't going to let us run them over. Okay. But they're going to pick at them a little bit. But she ended up screaming, let me talk in the house. And then Sweet Tea explained that it was her husband or her fiance who referred her to Simone and that she trusted her. She was like, basically, Dr. G said Simone was like a sister to him. And that's why I went instead of to Dr. Jackie. And Dr. Jackie ends up squashing it by saying you were in the best hands by going to her. But Dr. Simone had tears in her eyes a little bit. She was really hurt that Heavenly was playing her against Jackie. Straight up, she was hurt by it. But anyway, and because Dr. Heavenly was basically making it out like she couldn't do the surgery. Oh, well, if you couldn't do the surgery, you should have just given it to Dr. Jackie. She was like, there's a surgery I can't do. That's not why I referred her out. And you know she can't tell because of HIPAA rules. She can't say anything. But anyway, it was interesting. Let's see. Heavily, did you call her heavily on purpose? Heavenly is the show. Or did your spell did your spell check mess up? Heavily is a show, and without her, the show would be boring. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's a spell check error. Okay, but anyway, after they get all that squashed, then I believe it was Dr. Heavenly who ended up saying, "Did you tell?" She says this to Phaedra. "Did you tell her, Sweet Tea, that you used to date Dr. G?" And Phaedra paused, like, damn it, now you doing this. She said, "I never dated Dr. G." And that's how it ends. But yeah, it was a good scene, y'all. I hope y'all got a chance to watch it. And if you didn't, I hope that you do. Okay, it's still on. You know, they'll play it 101 times. But it was hilarious. Okay, but anyway, the scene ends with everybody just kind of rehashing a little bit the party. You hear Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie talking about it. And Dr. Heavenly said, I made a mistake bringing up Quad, and I won't do it again. But that food was nasty as hell. And Dr. Jackie starts laughing, and Dr. Heavenly said, "Quad would have never served us any mess like that." Dr. Jackie said, "Rewind. Didn't you just say you would not bring up Quad in the same space with Sweet Tea and Dr. G again?" And then you see Sweet Tea basically saying, "I don't like that your friends brought up Quad in my house. I feel like they're trying to play me." And she said, "Moving forward, just know I am not going to let these ladies run me over when it comes to Quad." And then we get a scene, we get a preview of her bachelorette party. And who shows up to that party? Quad. So I don't know if Quad was invited, but we do know that Sweet Tea loses her damn mind in the scene, okay? And I mean all of it. But that's pretty much it, y'all. It was a good show. I love Love and Marriage. Love and Marriage Huntsville. I do love Love and Marriage Huntsville. I love Married to Medicine too. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying. Is there anything that I missed that y'all wanted to bring up in the comments? Let's see what Irene had to say. She said Simone did the same to Dr. Jackie when Simone's friend was an OB. She was there for that reason. Are you talking about which one did you talking about? Tell me who you're talking about, Irene. Did you hear Cecil say that Dr. G leveled up? I sure did. He said that in confessional when they were talking about how Dr. G met Sweet Tea. And everybody said that he's happier than he appeared previously. He went, yeah, he leveled up. They also said that Quad was crazy as hell. And then I think it was Eugene who said that if he had to marry, if he married and divorced Quad, he'd be scared straight. He would never marry again. So they definitely made Quad out to be a crazy chick and basically saying the divorce was all her fault. So for sure, no doubt, Quad is definitely going to have something to say about it. Quad was the +1. Yeah, Quad appeared to be Phaedra's +1 for sure. Now we have to see if it was because she was actually invited or not, because the way they cut the scene, it made it seem like everybody was like, ooh, she wasn't supposed to be here, right? Let's see. Heavenly and Quad have been disrespectful. Hey. Heavenly and Quad have been disrespectful, huh? Is Heavenly and Quad on good terms this season? They did have a live not too long ago. Yeah, they're good. They're on good terms. But Heavenly did say she wasn't kissing Quad's ass. She said, "I don't have time to cater to her ego. I don't care what she thinks or says. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm not walking on eggshells for her." Irene said that light-skinned friend of Dr. Simone and Jackie, that Jackie embarrassed. Oh, okay. I forgot her name. I think it starts with an H2 though. I forgot her name, but she was the one who Dr. Jackie was talking about her infertility. I know who you're talking about. That woman never got over that, child. She talks about it to this day. Okay? All of the women should check their husbands, in my opinion. I thought that the husband group for this show is much better than what we've seen in previous shows. They don't get paid and they sit back and watch. They're like, when stuff is happening, there was only one time one of the husbands tried to jump in that I recall, like, within recent years, maybe two husbands. Anila's husband tried to jump in and they literally put their hands on his shoulder and told him, don't you do that. That has to do with the women. You let the women do it. And then also Contessa's husband, one time they were on a boat and they grabbed Contessa's husband the same way and said, man, stay the hell out of it. They'll be friends again tomorrow, but you're going to mess some stuff up. So don't do it again. And I appreciated that. Let's see. Sweet Tea is talking about access to his money. That's the part I missed. They asked Sweet Tea point blank. They said something like, what do you like about, being a fiance? And she said, access to his money. And everybody gave her a look. And then I think Heavenly said, are you a gold digger, child? And she said, I don't think so. Or did they call you a gold digger? She said, I don't think so. Toya had to get her together and said, do they call you a gold digger or not? And she said, no one's ever called me a gold digger. She said, then say no. It was Toya, because right now I'm going to say that Sweet Tea is coming in behind Toya in the quickness department. Everybody on that show is pretty quick. Toya is usually the slowest of the group. Y'all remember when she said she was a chicken hawk when Contessa told her she was an eagle and she don't mess with chickens. And then she said, I'm a chicken hawk. And everybody at the table was like, oh my, please somebody take her to the room because she has no idea what she said. Okay. Toya is slow. She might not be slow in real life, but she's slow for the group. Now I'm getting the impression that Sweet Tea might be slower than Toya, to be honest. Let's see. Aiden tried to check Heavenly on the beach for their couples getaway. Okay. Did he get checked too? Let me know. I would say within the recent years, somebody had to learn a lesson for sure, but they haven't done it again since. You remember the chicken hawk comment? Oh, child, they were sitting at a dinner table. The group trips, and Toya and Contessa got into it. And Contessa ended it by saying, I'm an eagle and I don't F with chickens, basically telling her she would never be on her level. And Toya said, I'm a chicken hawk. And I was like, but you're still not higher than an eagle. The eagle is that's the bird. You don't get any higher than an eagle, Toya. But she had no idea what she was saying. And everybody was just speechless. They just sat there with their mouths open. It was a stunning moment, child. It's horrible. Anyway, that's pretty much it, you guys. I appreciate y'all for showing up for the Married to Medicine review. I keep saying Love and Marriage, for the Married to Medicine review, okay? And we will do it again next week. Anyway, I think I'm going to do Real Housewives of Potomac tomorrow, and I'll probably do it in the afternoon instead. So we'll do it early in the afternoon, probably around maybe 12-ish. But outside of that, you guys, please make sure you hit the like on your way out. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Thank you. I appreciate that, Pacino. Hit that notification bell. Share the video. I will check you all out on the next one. Okay, let me take this picture down. I will check you all out on the next one. Bye-bye.